Hello, my name is Ndume, the host of International Focus Nigeria IFN, and in this documentary, we'll be looking at Boko Haram and its security implications for the West African sub-region.
City Light, the ultimate in lighting.
Aishatu Musa, Aishatu Grema, Hawa Nkeki, Hamsatu Abubarka, Mairama Abubarka, Hawa Wule, Eji Abdu, Hazana Adamu, Rakia Kwamta, Halima Gamba, Aisha Lawan, Kabu Mala, Yai Abana, Falta Lawan. But on the night of the 14th of April 2014, the lives of these girls will change forever. Since 2009, when Boko Haram launched its terror campaign, thousands of citizens have been killed or maimed in Nigeria. Amnesty International puts the figure of death in 2014 alone at over 1,500 people, mostly civilians. This figure does not include the 95 people who died in two bombings at Nyanya, a suburb of the Nigerian capital, Abuja. These attacks have continued. But how did it all get here? Formed in 2002, Boko Haram is an Islamist group that has been active in Nigeria since 2009. The name of the group means Western or non-Islamic education is a sin. The group is active in the north of Nigeria. Its main aim, to impose Islamic law as the only law in Nigeria. It also wants to outlaw education that is not based on Islam in the country. The group sees itself as similar to the Taliban, which are active in Afghanistan. Local residents of the area named the group Boko Haram, loosely translated from the Hausa language. Residents gave it the name because of its strong opposition to Western education, which is seen as a corrupting factor for Muslims. The term Boko Haram comes from the Hausa word Boko, meaning animist, Western or otherwise non-Islamic education, and the Arabic word Haram, figuratively meaning sin, literally forbidden. Boko Haram opposes not only Western education but Western culture and modern science as well. The group also forbids the wearing of shirts and trousers and the act of voting in elections. In its view, the Nigerian state is run by non-believers. Born on January 29, 1970, Mohammed Yusuf, also known as Utsat Mohammed Yusuf, founded the militant group Boko Haram in 2002 and was its spiritual leader until he was killed in 2009 Nigerian sectarian violence. The group's official name is Jamatu Ali Sunnah Lidawatu Walidu Jihad, which in Arabic means people committed to the propagation of the Prophet's teaching and jihad. The late controversial cleric is believed to have had a graduate education, spoke proficient English, lived a lavish lifestyle and drove a Mercedes-Benz. Yusuf was later killed by Nigerian security forces in 2009. They eventually found him in the house of his in-law. He was arrested, but he tried to escape from the police station. The Nigerian army later caught him and handed him over to the Nigerian police force. He was later summarily executed in public view outside a police station the day before his death. About 186 people were killed in severe fighting between the Nigerian army and Boko Haram. The movement is therefore repudiated by many adherents of the Salafi tradition in Nigeria. According to the University of California at Santa Cruz, Paul Lubeck, Yusuf received instruction in Salafism and was strongly influenced by Ibn Taymiyyah. In a 2009 BBC interview, Yusuf stated his belief: that the concept of a spherical earth is contrary to Islamic teaching and should be rejected, along with Darwinian evolution and the concept of rain originating from water evaporated by the sun.
The Nigerian government is partly to be blamed in this issue of attack on the Nigerian populace. They've tried their best, however, but their best is not enough to salvage the situation as to what we're going through as a people in Nigeria. They've allowed these heartless guys to come, control the pace of the game, knock the game the way they want it, taking the game, playing it in their own pitch, on their own turf, while they are watching as spectators. These guys are heartless, and the Nigerian government are just mere spectators in this case. Seems they have no solution to this problem, and that's really worrisome.
But the group soon showed how serious they were and grabbed the consciousness of the world when on Friday 26 August 2011 launched a car bomb in the Nigerian capital Abuja's UN building.
A car bomb attack that has left several people dead, reports of at least 10 killed and at least 40 wounded following a major attack, it seems, on the United Nations compound there. An entire wing of that building has been levelled, has been demolished. A car laden with explosives, according to the Associated Press, has done this. This four-storey building, parts of which have been levelled, crashing through the UN compound's gates. Witnesses apparently saying a sedan drove through one of those compound gates. We'll bring you
UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon described the attack as an assault on those who devoted themselves to helping others. The bombing of the UN headquarters came only 2 months after a similar suicide bombing on the Nigerian police headquarters in the same Abuja.
The unfortunate incident which led to the death of the suicide bomber and a police traffic warden occurred at about 11:00 hours when the suicide bomber vehicle was intercepted and directed to the car park for searching and checking.
All through these attacks and thereafter, all that the federal government says is to issue statements commiserating with the victims and their families and assuring the general populace that they're going to clamp down on these terrorists. But it seems that is not working out, and the Nigerian populace has beginning to lose confidence on the part of the government in trying to track down the people perpetuating these deadly acts on Nigerians. We would want to call on them to step up their fight in tracking them out.
I believe it is time we need to change the tactics we are using in handling the issue of Boko Haram in Nigeria for us to get better results. We don't need to undermine what the president and the security of Nigeria government is doing now. All what we are saying that we should not politicize the issue of Boko Haram. We need to deviate our mind from politicizing Boko Haram issue. It's more than politics, it's more than religion, it's more than the North and South issues. Boko Haram is no more an insurgent issue, it's a terrorist issue.
I don't think the activities of Boko Haram in any way represents the pristine tenets of the religion. And certainly there are rules of engagement even in times of jihad. They are purported to be fighting to impose Sharia. And therefore, if you profess a certain faith or you make it as a source of motivation for your activities, certainly your activities have to be in tandem with the teachings of the religion. And therefore, if you consider Boko Haram as the arbitrary and indiscriminate killing of women, children, innocent people caught in the crossfire, worshippers who are massed up in a church, or Muslims getting strafed with bullets while they pray in the mosque, that certainly is un-Islamic. And therefore, even though most Muslims across the world may share to some extent in the methodology of making Nigeria an Islamic state, they do not share in the mode of operation of Boko Haram. Certainly, the religion does not espouse the use of violence to get your ambitions. That is why when you even look at the Quran, it says, La ikraha fi din. There is no compulsion in religion. And therefore, if you want to force Islam down the throats of people, certainly that is not congruent with the teachings of the religion. So such errant acts of violence are un-Islamic.
There is a litany of dangers. In the first place, whether they succeed or not, their activities would hamper economic activities in the West African sub-region. In the first place, it is hurting Nigeria, so Nigeria will have to spend lots of money on security. Lots of money on security means that some other aspects of the Nigerian economy would suffer. Two, the hysteria would cause economic activities in Nigeria to slow down. Some schools have closed, markets are not opening, Christians are not going to their churches. All these things have economic impact. And then it has a socio-psychological impact also on Nigeria and the sub-region. People traveling to Nigeria, maybe to do business, would think twice. The worst will be the efflux of money. I mean, capital flight. If I have plenty of money in Nigeria and I'm doing some foreign direct investment in Nigeria, I would think twice and be thinking that I can be a target at any time. So I would then relocate my industry or anything like that, or even send monies away, knowing very well that anything could happen. So basically, it would have a great impact economically on the West Coast, the sub-region, the ECOWAS region.
The kidnap of the girls, now famously known as the Chibok girls, have marked the climax of the treatment of Boko Haram as a global scourge, not just a Nigerian problem. America, in a swift response, has sent a team comprised of personnel from military, law enforcement, and other agencies. According to the U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry, he said, "Our intelligence team is hitting the ground in Nigeria now. They are going to be working with President Jonathan's government to do everything that we possibly can to return these girls." The girls are not back yet. The UK Prime Minister has also pledged $10 million to boost school security in northern Nigeria alongside similar specialist team. China and France have also not been left out. Israel has also indicated interest to participate in this onslaught against Boko Haram. Even as foreign experts begin to arrive the West African country to help Nigerian military in the search for the kidnapped girls from the government college Chibok, global human rights organization Amnesty International has released a statement claiming the Nigerian authorities received prior warning of the raid on the school but failed to act. The NGO say sources at the military headquarters in Maiduguri confirmed that at 7 p.m. on April 14, the day of the kidnap, the military received news of an impending raid on Chibok town but could not deploy soldiers to counter the better armed insurgents due to poor resources and fear among the troops of engaging the group.
The Boko Haram menace started as it was a Nigerian problem. People thought it was a small organization which Nigeria could deal with. From 2001, 2002, 2009 was the height. And everybody still thought Nigeria could deal with it. The MEND, movement for the emancipation of the Niger Delta, everybody thought it was a Nigerian affair. But I have always been on the side of the very fact that collective security is a must for any place which wants to integrate.
When you look at the evolution of Boko Haram, it shouldn't come as a surprise to the West African sub-region that he would want to gain sympathy from the larger Muslim population. Since the abduction of those over 270 girls from Chibok, there has been a groundswell level of condemnation from the international community. And extremism thrives upon sympathy from Muslims, as well as financing and recruitment from the Muslim community. So for the fact that these were innocent, hapless young ladies who had gone to seek knowledge, for the fact that they were so violently whisked away from their dormitories, that made Boko Haram lose the sympathy propaganda in the eyes of the international community.
So if the whole of West Africa takes it as a collective thing, and even Africa, I've said not only ECOWAS, but ECAS has a duty to help ECOWAS. So it is that the whole of the AU has to give support so that we are able to, drive these subgroups away from the African continent.
What we see in the case of Abubakar Shekau, and I took time off some 3 days ago to listen to his 27-minute speech, the communique that accompanied those girls, the abducted girls. He tries his best to speak Arabic. I don't think he could even pass for a theologian, because you could tell that there were hiccups with the way he was even speaking the language. Therefore, what Boko Haram is doing is a blatant misconstruction and misapplication of certain verses of the Quran. Because if you say God Almighty justifies the killing of Christians and Jews, where do you get that from the Quran? When the same book says, لا ينهاكم الله عن الذين لم يقاتلوكم في الدين ولم يخرجوكم من دياركم أن تبروهم وتقسطوا إليهم والله يحب المقسطين. For those amongst the Jews and Christians who do not fight you in matters of religion, then Allah does not forbid you from dealing with them with compassion and justice. Verily, Allah loves those who are equitable. So these are the teachings of the Holy Quran. And therefore, if Abu Bakr Shekau has misconstrued certain verses in the Quran that border on jihad, that border on Sharia, certainly he has to come back again. That is why I think we can't fight Boko Haram only through the barrel of the gun. There should be a multi-pronged, multifaceted approach.
If they are able to hit Abuja and hit the UN offices there, hit, the police headquarters, don't underrate them. Meanwhile, where are they getting all those sophisticated weapons from? Watch an insider. Jonathan has said it already, that he believes members of his government may be part. He believes that members of the security services may be part. And don't forget, Nigeria has that history.
So much as we use, the bullets to tackle Boko Haram as a menace, we should also embark upon an intensive de-radicalization campaign, which will be championed by Muslims who know the Quran, who will come out with a counter-narrative to denounce what Boko Haram is doing, so that the young people who are used as cannon fodder to stoke such irrational violence do not become too vulnerable to fall prey to the warped teachings of Boko Haram and other extremist groups across the continent.
The kidnap of the Chibok girls have become one of the biggest stories in recent times, with a permanent trending spot on all social media, popularized by the hashtag #BringBackOurGirls, which historically, according to BBC, was first tweeted by Nigerian lawyer Ibrahim Abdullahi on the 23rd of April 2014. Web analytics show that this has been retweeted by more than 1 million times by the world's big and small. Out of this, 22% originated from Nigeria and the United States of America, accounted for 44%, with the rest of the world accounting for the rest. This will be another interesting debate after the girls are back, perhaps.
I'm joining the whole world, the world leaders and good people of Nigeria to solicit and plead for the release of these innocent girls. The girls are so innocent that they don't know the problems facing Nigeria, both political and military or economically. They are innocent. They are just underage schoolgirls in boarding school. So whatever is the problem the Boko Haram or politicians are having with federal government or state government, they should sort it out, not with the life of our innocent children.
The Bring Back Our Girls protest has swept the world in a dramatic fashion, with high-profile world personalities like Mrs. Obama, David Cameron, and other world celebrities raising the flag.
Like millions of people across the globe, my husband and I are outraged and heartbroken over the kidnapping of more than 200 Nigerian girls from their school dormitory in the middle of the night. This unconscionable act was committed by a terrorist group determined to keep these girls from getting an education. Grown men attempting to snuff out the aspirations of young girls. And I want you to know that Barack has directed our government to do everything possible to support the Nigerian government's efforts to find these girls and bring them home.
Let us put arrogance, religion, politics, and all the big talk aside. It is time to rescue these girls before they are killed, sold into slavery, or early marriage. This is an open call to the rest of the world. Nigeria needs help. We need your help. If the federal government is not asking, the citizens are asking. The parents of those girls are asking. We are begging. We need help.
وكل من كفر بالله إن لم يتوبوا
Boko Haram leader Shekau, in a recent video, has, after throwing insults on world leaders over the abducted girls, declared that he could only release the girls after a prisoner exchange of their members detained by the Nigerian security. He said the girls who were not Muslims had now been converted to Islam. The Nigerian government has since said that they were ready to negotiate with the group if they could come out clean. The kidnapping of the girls has since thrown Nigeria into a frenzy, with personalities like the wife of the president, Dame Patience Jonathan, reacting thus.
There is God in everything we are doing. Those bloods that are sharing in Bronu will answer. What of two teachers, what of two teachers that can tell us that they conducted that exam? Do you come with any? Principal? No, too. You waka come. Okay. Now the first lady is calling you. Come, I want to help you. Come to find your child, your missing child. Will you keep quiet? Child. There is God, oh. There is God, oh. The bloods we are sharing, there is God, oh. 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 There is God.
West African leaders, including presidents of Nigeria's neighboring countries, Chad, Cameroon, and Niger, has joined to attend a meeting on the growing menace in France on Saturday, May 17, hosted by Francois Hollande, the president of France. The French have, however, ruled out any direct military operation, saying it was primarily for Nigeria to take the lead. Paris fears Boko Haram could spread north into the Sahel and beyond to Cameroon into the Central African Republic. Boko Haram has already targeted French interests in Nigeria, kidnapping a French family in northern Cameroon last year. In the next phase of this documentary, International Focus Nigeria travels around Nigeria to tell you those who have been alleged to be behind Boko Haram, with one theory already accusing Nigerian Christians of being behind the group, an accusation many have received with laughter and doubt. But who are those behind Boko Haram?
City Lights, the ultimate in lighting.